In one of our previous videos, I gave the definition of precision, telling you that the smaller the unit of measure used, the more precise that measurement is. And I wanted to give you an example because you're going to have to work through some of this week. So I wanted to give you an example of that so you could see what I mean by this. I've drawn out for you half of a meter stick. So this is only a partial. It would go twice this distance here. And I've tried to kind of color code it, that the dark blue, if you can tell it, is the meter length. The green indentations are showing us decimeters, groups of 10. There are 10 decimeters in a meter. And then the orange that comes up are centimeters, centa being 100. If this were a full meter stick, there would be 100 centimeters in this meter stick. Now, even smaller, I just didn't want to draw it and make this where you couldn't really see good things. Even smaller, between those oranges, I could draw millimeters, and there are 1,000 millimeters in a meter stick. So, in thinking back to that precision of what is the more exact measurement, and remember the definition is using the smaller. So if I wanted to measure this lid, and I put it up here to my meter stick, I could put it up here and say, it's about half of a meter. If it went all the way out here, it would be half of a meter. So that's not very exact. That's not very precise. So I could take it a little smaller. I could measure it in decimeters. And I could look up here and say, it's 1, 2, 3. It's about 3.5 decimeters. But that's still not the most precise measurement that I could give off of this one. I could count my centimeters and be even more precise. And I could see that my lid is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 centimeters long. So which one is more precise? The about a half a meter, or 3.5 decimeters, or 36 centimeters? 36 centimeters is the more precise answer because it is the smaller unit of measure. I use the smaller unit of measure here. Now, if I had gone with millimeters, I could have even gone smaller, but I didn't. I wanted to show you that same measuring preciseness with a candy cane. So here's my candy cane. I'm trying to figure out how long it is. I'll come right here and I'll say, my candy cane is about 1/10 of a meter. Here's 1/10 of a meter and a little bit more. A little bit more than 1/10 of a meter. That doesn't give me much precision, exactness. I could tell you that it's 1.5 decimeters, and that's another way because there's 1.5 decimeters. But the most precise, or the measurement with the most precision, would be to count with the smallest increment, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 centimeters. So the most precise measurement would be to say 14 centimeters. That's not always the exact answer, but it's getting you to the closest reasonable answer. Precision doesn't mean exact answer, but it means the closest one to what it really would be. So I wanted to show you that so you could see an example of how that works, of using either a bigger measurement, a little bit smaller, or a little bit smaller. I chose the metric system because you're probably least familiar with that. You're more comfortable because you would be used to taking a yardstick and then honing it down to maybe some feet and then maybe some inches. It would be the same theory there. And you could do it with that in the same way. I wanted to show you something you might not be as familiar with. You're going to be using this week.